Yeah, yes. And let's wait for 1 more minute. Let others join
Sure.
this for just 1 or 2 minutes. Yes.
No problem.
Yeah. Today, Divan will be taking a session on emotions and well-being. I would like to introduce about Sangeeta Divan. She's a life coach and she's a spiritual motivator and a training expert. She's a founder of a Peace of Bristol program, and she's also broadcaster. Through her programs and radio shows, she's spreading peace all over the UK and across the globe. Today, she will be talking about emotions and well-being. She will be talking about how cultivating positive emotions is very important for peaceful living. And yeah, this is all the introduction about Sangeeta. And let's start our session. Here we go. Yes,
Hi,
Sangeeta.
everyone. Thank you, Shri, for a lovely introduction. Yes, I have created Inner Peace program 2, 3 years ago, actually. And today we'll talk all about emotions and well-being and how to self-heal, one's emotions. And it's so important because emotions are such a huge part of our lives. Yeah, we all feel them every single day, every single minute. Maybe not aware of them, but we do feel them. And I thought, why we need to look after ourselves, because I strongly believe that, our outer reality is merely a reflection of what goes inside us. Or maybe we are not aware of what is happening inside of us because we are so focused on our work life, our family, looking after other people, but we don't take time for ourselves to go within. And I started my spiritual journey actually 10 years ago when I was going through little rough times. So let me tell you a bit of about me, my background. I have grown up in India. I was born in India, grown up in there. And when I was 1.5, I had polio. So it was a huge thing for me, being a girl. And I remember looking at my parents, and they were always sad, seeing, wow, there's a girl, and there's a disability. And people were looking at me, with kind of pity and feeling sorry for me, So I grew up looking at people feeling sorry for me. And guess what? I started to actually feel that because I was soaking up everybody's emotions, and I started to feel I'm not good enough, I'm not complete. Why would somebody like me? Why would somebody marry me? Why would I can't do anything, I can't even walk properly. So all those feelings led to a lot of uncomfortable things in my life, a lot of things that I attracted, because now I realize that I'm the creator of my experience. But what was happening, that there was certain belief system, they will sit in my subconscious about not good enough, not beautiful enough, not complete, and they caused me to have so many different issues in my life. And 10 years ago, then I got married and I came to the UK 21 years ago, and I have a lovely, lovely family, 2 little boys. But because even everything after marriage was great, I was still not living my life fully. I was still unhappy. I was still holding on to my past belief. The subconscious was ruling my life. And one day I just wanted to give up on life. And I said, I can't take this pain anymore, because I was attracting pain from friends, from family, from work situations. And it's people were putting me down, people were making me realize that I'm not good enough, my ideas aren't good, or what I say nobody take notice. And I was constantly looking at people and saying, well, why are you not nice to me? But what I didn't realize, it was my creation, it was my energy that I was emanating, that was bringing me all those experiences. So 10 years ago, I just wanted to give up. And I thought, okay, I don't want to live this life anymore. I couldn't give up because I had 2 lovely boys, and they were very, very young at that time. And I thought, no, I can't. So I have to find a solution. I have to find a peaceful solution so I can enjoy this life. I can enjoy being with my family. You know, my husband is so loving and caring, yet I was finding faults in him, and my kids were loving, but I was getting angry with them. So I thought, everybody else seems to be okay with life. Why am I struggling so much? And I remember watching beautiful Sister Shivani. You know, if you, I'm sure you all heard of her from Brahma Kumari, and she said, when there's a challenge comes in your life, it's like a huge stone in your path, and we stand there in that path, and you know, we start to bang our head to that stone or try to push it, try to physically make all the effort to get rid of that challenge, but it doesn't move. So she said, it's not that you have to take any action to get rid of that stone. That is not, that challenge, that block is not in your life to give you trouble. It is in your life to make you fluid, to make you become somebody else, to make you let go of all those things. And she said, you know, challenges come not in your life to, you know, really make you feel bad. They they come in your life to make you feel how strong you are. You know, so she said, just become fluid, because nothing stops water. And I was like, wow, I needed to listen that. And I said, well, how can I learn more about myself? How can I learn more about life? Because challenges don't stop. You know, they keep coming, they keep coming. How can I manage myself? How can I change myself that, one, I don't attract big challenges? Second, if they still come, because life is happening all the time, you know, how will I be able to handle them, being emotionally balanced? But what I realized throughout my journey, that I was holding a lot of pain since my childhood, you know, from people's comment, people laughing at me, people saying I'm not good enough. And honestly, it was not very easy for me to grow up, you know, in India, and feeling where there's an expectation of a girl to be perfect, you know, to be able to do everything, and be joyful, and, you know, all sort of things. Yet I grew up, I was still, there was something in me. I think my soul was still saying to me that, no, you're okay, you're enough, you can shine. And I remember, I'm a trained singer, so I learned singing classical Indian singing, and I absolutely loved it. My time when I was singing, when I was soaked up in music, was the most important, most powerful experience for me. So I said, okay, that brings joy to me. So let's start. So let's start soak up more in the things that make me happy. And then when I went through this journey, I realized, actually, I don't know how many of you realize that, you know, consciously we don't actually create our life so often. Actually, it's subconscious. So I want you to put in the chat, and because I want to make it interactive, I want you to tell me how much of our life is created consciously and how much of our life is created unconsciously. Just type in chat, any kind of number comes, 25, you know, 100% or whatever, and then see if I see any chat. um, okay. So if you think about it, just let me know, because what I realized, and it really shocked me, that I was creating 90% through subconscious. Yes, well, Shri, of course you should. Well, it'll shock us, because I thought that, you know, we are consciously aware of things. You know, if I have a dream, if I want to have a healthy physical body, I have to take an action, yeah, to do something about it. Or if I want to have a joyful life, I have to take action to do something about it. But actually, it wasn't so much of an action, it's more of thinking, going within. And I didn't know how to go within. So when I started my spiritual journey, I realized first thing I learned was meditation. And it truly, truly changed my life, because when I was sitting and breathing deeply, and I was really calm, I was seeing something very different that, because I never actually experienced. So I was saying, no, I need to find out more. I need to do more research. So I went into looking for conscious mind, and scientists now have proved that 95% of our life experience is actually ruled by our subconscious mind. Only 5% is through our conscious mind. Yet we are so focused on our, conscious mind, conscious awareness to create something. But still, life is falling apart. Quite a lot of us are struggling with physical health, emotional and mental health. Sometimes we get frustrated creating the life we want, our dreams. But if we can take our time, and how I think that we really need to look after ourselves is about inner self, inner being, why it is important. Because if I give you an example of a tree, if you buy a small, beautiful plant, not even tree, look at the plant we bring in our house. Where do we water? We don't water the branches, we don't water the flowers, we water the roots. So we are the roots. Our conscious mind is branches and flowers. Our subconscious mind is the root. So we do need to uncover what is holding in our subconscious. What is holding, what beliefs are we holding in our subconscious that is actually creating our life? Because how I see life is that, if I want to create my dream, a dream of um, maybe having a joyful life, yeah, so that's a dream created by my conscious mind. And now it goes, and I will start creating a thoughts that how do I create that? I might have to work hard, I might have to earn money, I might have to find somebody who is loving, and then we have kids, and thus will achieve our dream. Well, what we don't do is we don't tap into our emotions and say, yes, I want this, but how do I feel when I'm dreaming about that? Am I feeling stable? Am I feeling balanced? Am I feeling angry? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling fear? Fear of failure, fear of judgment. Am I feeling jealous looking at somebody else's life? So all those emotions are so real, yet we bypass them. We straight away go into physical body and start taking actions. And that's why sometimes we get really frustrated and we think, I am doing everything right. If you want to achieve good grades in exam, you study hard, you do everything, yeah? You go and sit in the exam, and that day or a day before, you had some argument with somebody. Now your emotions are up and down. You have no clarity. It's like, if I'm driving a car and it's foggy, I can't drive car 70 mile an hour because there's no clarity. I am definitely going to have an accident, yeah, or more likely to have an accident. But if the weather is clear, now I can drive at 70 mile an hour because I can see far away. I have this clarity. I don't have that fogginess. So emotions, when they are not balanced, they create this fogginess in us. So we first thing we need to do is we need to heal our emotions. But we need to be very clear. We need to be very honest. How do we heal our emotions if we don't even understand them? You know. So what I have created in my program is 4 steps to heal your emotions, heal your emotional pain. And then we go and create our life in physical reality. Then we take action. So if and please do put anything in the chat if you're struggling with something right now. And I will see, I can take questions afterwards and I can see if I can help you taking the right steps. So what I have created 4 steps is about understanding where is this emotion coming from. See, for me, quite a lot of things when they went wrong in my life was the emotion was not as much as from the present moment but more from the past. It's the emotion that I created maybe when I was 3 years old and I wasn't aware of it, but it was sitting in my subconscious. So I had to take time to understand where is this emotion coming from, you know. And then when I understand, then I have to, second step is I have to accept it, that yes, I am feeling angry right now. Yeah, I can't say, oh well, it'll go away, or it'll dissipate, or maybe tomorrow I'll feel joy. See, what we do is we sometimes hide from it, we sometimes run away from it, we sometimes suppress the emotions, and that is most unhealthy way to deal with our emotions, because it's not going to heal them. It's going to put it away, and it's going to eventually come in a huge way. See, what happens is our subconscious mind keeps throwing stuff at us for us to deal with. But what we do is we run away from it. Why? Not because we want to, because we don't understand it. So we have to, first step is understand it, where it is coming from. Why are you feeling the way you're feeling right now? And where in the past you have felt the same emotion? Because we need to take that out from its root. We need to pull the root out. It's like if you're doing a gardening, if you have weeds, you have to pull them out from the root. Yeah. Otherwise, it'll keep growing. And again, we always have to look after them. We can't just say, okay, I have done weeding one time and it'll never happen in the lifetime. These thoughts, these fears, these emotions keep rising up for us to look at it. And until and unless we have a good look at it, we deal with it, we pull out the roots, they are going to keep coming, keep coming. And eventually it'll become so huge that there'll be a breakdown, either breakdown of relationship, either breakdown of our own emotion, mental well-being, and or a breakdown of a situation which won't be repairable. So first step I feel is understanding our emotions. Second is acceptance. We have to accept. I have to accept I'm feeling this anger, I'm feeling sadness, or I'm feeling fearful. Yeah. And then I have to process in a healthy way. And how I feel, I have learned few ideas, is processing is all about, it depends on you. You could be like, take time and do meditation, and certain ideas might come to your mind. Sit in a peaceful and quiet place. Go out in nature. Nature, I found, is so healing. When you go out, when I go out for walks, there's so many things. It's like I'm having a dialogue with myself, and I'm saying, what's happening? I'm just talking to the universe and saying, I am not comfortable. Why am I having this situation again and again? And more I find when I am in nature, the answers come to me, because I'm saying I don't understand. And that's another issue. Us human beings, we think we know it all. We understand it. There is so much hidden stuff that we don't know. There is so much stuff in our subconscious mind that we are not aware of it. So we really need to go in nature. We really need to go and take time. If something is happening in our life which is not giving us pleasure, which is not making us happy, we really need to dig deep and go within. One thing I found very important was writing. I was writing letter to all those people who hurt me. I was writing letter to my old self, my younger self, and I said, you know, I want to love you. I know you didn't feel loved. You didn't feel supported. You didn't feel heard. That was another big of my issue, because I was one of the youngest of the siblings. And I remember speaking up, trying to talk about things. And I couldn't, because I remember my mom saying, no, but you're the youngest. You don't know anything. And yet I was feeling, no, but I do know. I do know how I feel. I do know what I see, you know, and I wasn't feeling heard. Excuse me, I'll just take a sip of water. So I had to process a lot of my past, a lot of stuff in my subconscious mind. So I remember writing a letter to my younger self and saying how sorry I am that, that nobody was approving of myself, nobody was understanding me, nobody was accepting me, nobody was telling me how I am, or how good I am, or I am enough, or I'm complete. And all those things we miss. Yet, you become so much older, you're still craving for acceptance, you're still craving for people to understand you. But what I found that I was not taking time for myself to understand me. So when I was writing a letter to my old self, I said, I'm sorry. You know, I have to do a lot of forgiveness for myself, because till that point, I was always pointing fingers towards other people and not taking any responsibility of what has happened in my life. Yes, certain things I couldn't take responsibility for because I didn't ask to have polio. I didn't ask for so many other difficulties I have gone through, like abuse, you know. And so I have to forgive myself for saying, sorry for not taking time for myself out. Sorry for not going within and understanding myself, understanding my emotions. So the day I started to understand how our emotions that sit in our subconscious mind is actually creating my life. No wonder my life was falling apart. No wonder I wasn't enjoying my life to the fullest, because it was all pain. There was so much gunk in my energy that I had to release, but I didn't know again how to release. So then I went on to another journey of understanding how to release my past, how to release my pain, but how to accept first. And that's where the processing part of it came. That how do I let go? You know? And I learned that forgiveness is one of the most important thing that we have to learn. I had to learn and do. I had to forgive other people, people who didn't know any better. I have to forgive my parents. I have to forgive my siblings. I have to forgive my friends, my colleagues, a lot of people who came in my life. They were throwing stuff at me. But yet, then the day I realized it was me, my gunk, my energy that wasn't great, all my belief systems, they were creating that. So I had to forgive them, and I have to forgive myself. I think the biggest forgiveness I had to do was towards myself, and saying, I'm so sorry for not understanding that before. I'm so sorry for not taking time for me, you know, because we create so much busyness around us that we just think, I don't have time to take for me for 15 minutes to do meditation, or to sit down in nature, or to write something, because my God, there's so many amazing things happening. I have to look after my husband, my kids, my friends, my family in India. I have to be there for everyone. And I was doing that. I was being there for everyone, even at work. I've done radio for last 10 years. And there's suddenly a change came in my life last week, and it was a huge challenge. And I had to let go of my radio show, you know. But then before that, when I didn't understood, I would have blamed all these people. Yes, the challenge came from people, but I took responsibility of saying, maybe I created that. Maybe there is a little bit of me still needed something that was not coming. So what I did is I forgave them for that challenge. I forgave myself. And I said, look, I rather leave with peace, because what I want to do is now I want to take my program, A Piece of Bristol, out in Bristol. I want to travel. I want to connect with people. I want to take my life coaching program out to globe. I have been doing it locally. I've been doing it few things internationally, but I want to do it full time. I want to take my inner peace program everywhere. So it was hard for me, yet I knew that it's only 10% that comes to me. It's 90% of how I respond. So I took responsibility of 90% and said, yes, I was upset. Yes, I had tearful days. Yes, it wasn't easy for me to let go of something I built for 10 years. But maybe it's time for me to move on. Maybe it's time for me to again go within and take myself out on a different platform, on a bigger platform, so I can do this full time, because I truly believe that, if I am at peace, I have the power to create peace in the world. But if I am not at peace, If I am not joyful, if I am not in a loving vibration, I don't have the power to create that. Yet, what happens is we all are looking at each other. We are looking at our partnerships, we are looking at our families, we are looking at our friends, and it's like we are going and asking for love. We are asking for joy. We are asking for happiness from outside. But the beauty is that it's all inside. It always starts from inside. All these feelings are created within us. But we do need to take time to go within us and say, okay, now I know the knowledge. Now I am aware that it's only 1% to 5% of my life experience is created by my conscious mind. I need to dig deep. I need to understand my emotions. I need to feel them, you know. And quite often I think that three things, I as I mentioned before, is, if you're feeling angry, and please do put it in the chat, if how often do you feel angry, or sad, or fear, or jealousy, or love. There's nothing wrong with all those emotions. They are part of our human being, human part of our human journey. That's our emotions make us human. So, nothing wrong with that. We shouldn't label them saying it's good or bad. No, it's about understanding them, it's about accepting them, it's about processing them, and it's about letting go. Those are the four steps I felt in my past, and I have created like this program, and I have seen a lot of my clients, once they understand their emotions, once they understand how they can heal themselves, they feel so much power in themselves. They said, wow, now I know how to let go. Now I know how to process. Now I can create life that I want. It's not going to be what people want for me. It's not going to be, see, I'm not going to be the slave. Life is never going to happen 100% the way I want. Yeah. That'll cause so many things come to us that causes up and down of the emotions. But if I am in control of my emotions, if at least I'm in control of what happens within me, then I will really enjoy my life. Then I will really feel balanced and fulfilled. As I said, life is only 10% that happens to you, from outside, 90% how you respond. So let's all work towards that 90%. If I can go within and see, I'm feeling really angry. And I said, I felt that last week I was feeling angry. And I realized that I was thinking, wow, that's a huge trigger. And I have worked so much on me. But then I went back and I think, yes, I'm always a student of life. Yes, I have learned so much. Yes, I have acquired so much knowledge that I'm passing to everybody. But I think sometimes challenge come to test you. Do you actually use the tools that you have learned in the hardest situation, or do you fall apart? you know so I was really tested, and I thought, yes, I'm feeling sadness, anger. And sadness came to me because when people really use harsh words, throw stuff at you, so much negativity, you feel sadness. And then I cried a lot because I was grieving that my old self is dying, my new self is getting birth. And that birthing process is quite painful. And that what happens to us very often, old part of us dies because we have learned something new, something profound has come in our awareness, and now we know how to handle it. So the old self has to die. It's a painful process, but because now I have the knowledge, I went inside, I took time for myself, and I said, let's forgive everyone involved, including me. Yeah. People only do what they know. They don't mean to hurt you, but that's all they know, because in the past they have been hurt. They are carrying a lot of pain, and maybe I'm the one who is bringing that out in them for them to heal. They were bringing something out of me, that there was a little bit of gunk still there. that I need to release, I need to heal. And there was a fear of change. And I thought, you know what? It's happening for me. Whatever comes to me, it doesn't bother me that much now because I know it's happening for me. That means I am going on a different level. That means I am graduating. That means I'm learning. I'm going to learn something more. So, rather than, and before that, because I didn't know how to handle my emotions, I used to go in a meltdown and I used to just blame other people. Don't look at me, don't work at myself, and don't change. That's how I spend my life. But when I learned this knowledge, when I went and acquired so much knowledge, I thought, wow, it's really powerful because the tools I learned, I have changed my life, I have transformed my life, and now I am helping other people to transform their life. So my program is all about transforming lives through inner peace, and we really need to look at it. We really have to go within and saying, okay, I'm just closing the chat. I was thinking to see if any of you has typed anything in. So we always need to go within. And I have seen a lot of people around me in my family, in my friend circle. What they do is there are three main things people do when they feel really the situation is very emotional. Um, is it okay for you to type in? I know I've been chatting for a long time. I want you to tell me right now, what is the emotion you're feeling or what you're going through right now in life? Is there any challenge? And it could be a joyful experience. It could be a emotion, could be a love emotion, it could be a fear, it could be jealousy, it could be anger, sadness. I would really like to hear from you guys. Just type in chat, or Shri, if you want to open up, the audio, if anybody wants to talk to me and talk through what is going on, because I want to share three things what people usually do, um, you know, and okay, I got something in chat. Worry. Okay, well, that's one of the thing, isn't it? We worry about things. And why do we worry? Do you know? What is worrying you right now? If you can let me know, what one thing that is worrying you?
Hopefully you can speak up also. Okay.
Yeah. Who is coming up and having a chat with me?
It's another Shri.
Oh,
uh,
hi. Okay.
yeah.
So it's worrying you. You're into this. Tell me. Tell me what is worrying you.
She's saying that kids and family is what she's mentioning in the chat. Kids and
Okay, kids
family.
and family well-being.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question because we all worry about our family, yeah? We all worry about people who we are close to. So what we need to do is when we worry, can you change anything about it? Because worry is a way of thought. It's we think it's an emotion, but it's not an emotion. It's created by our conscious mind because we think if we don't worry, and especially being a mother, I'm not a good mom. I have to. How can I not worry about my kids? But worry creates nothing good. Yeah. So it's about if I'm planting a seed of orange, but I want apple, is apple going to grow? The answer is no. So if we want well being for our family, first we need to create well being in us. First, we need to think, what thoughts am I creating? See, worry is um, kind of energy we are creating that is unwanted. So there is something, when we create worry, when we plant worry, the seed of worry, nothing good is going to come out of it. It's like you want well being, but you're worrying. It's not going to work. So if you're worrying, I would suggest take charge, on yourself rather than worrying about everybody else, and saying, why do I worry? Where have I learned this from? Have I learned that from my parents, my society? And what am I doing to create well-being within me? So tell me, Shri, what are you doing to create well-being in you? And where have you learned this worrying thing? Put it in a chat, or do come on, and talk to me. It'll be nice to have a chat, actually, in terms of just switch on your audio.
Um, Hello.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
I
Sorry,
can.
I was
I
around
can.
kids, so I couldn't talk earlier.
That's all right. Tell me.
Yeah, I think it's just knowing whether I'm doing the right things for the family. And I know I do understand when you say it's not going to help, but knowing it theoretically and practically following it, I find
It's difficult.
myself, I still haven't reached that stage where even though I know it theoretically, I'm not
Yeah.
able to implement it practically.
Yeah. Sure.
And there are
Sure.
moments where I shift between the two, like I'm fine, and then suddenly something else takes over. I'm like back to the worrying stage.
Worry. It's part of being mother, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, it's about emotions, isn't it? So what I want you to do is, so tell me one worry that you have for your family, or a child or your family. One thing, bring out in a words and saying, yeah, worry is very wide, it's very huge. One thing that you say, I feel like that for my kids.
Yeah, maybe as simple as am I feeding them the healthy stuff or not?
Okay.
Like am I bringing
Doing
them
the
up
right thing.
properly? Am I
Okay.
up? Yeah.
I want you to go within you and feel in your heart, and now tell me, are you doing the right thing? Just tune into your heart.
I think most times yes, but sometimes I'm influenced by people around me, even though I don't want to do it. I still
Mm-hmm.
end up doing because people around me say that's a better thing to do.
Okay. And that's where we struggle a lot. Yeah. Quite a
Mm,
lot of us are, led by other people's beliefs, other people's thoughts, media. I felt bringing up kids, what was really helpful for me is I went within me. I felt that what is the right thing to do. And when my heart said, this is the right thing to do, I did that. Because again, a lot of us, we have different upbringings, we listen to different things, we have different people around us. So every time, if and we are programmed to depend on those people, or say, well, I'm arrogant if I don't listen to other people. Yeah.
mm, mm,
They are coming from a place of knowledge. It could be our parents, it could be people who are elder than us, or it could be people who have, who have already done that what we are thinking to do, and are saying, wow, if I don't listen to them, then I'm doing something wrong. I have felt every time I listen to me, it was a right decision. It could be wrong decision for somebody else, it could be wrong decision for most of your friends, most of your family. But if you feel right, and that's the point of tuning into our emotions, if there is a little bit of anxiety when you're taking an action, suppose you're feeding your family something that you think, I don't think I should, listen to that feeling. If you think, I think I'm doing the right thing, then carry on with that. Because there are billion people on this planet, billions of people. Everybody has different way of looking at things, everybody has different way of thinking. But the most amazing thing we have, that our soul is so powerful, is all knowing, all loving. So when we connect to our feelings, our soul, it knows it better. It knows, because your child might need more sugary stuff, and you're looking at everybody else and saying, no, I don't think I'm feeding them the right thing. But that child's body might need that. You might need more salt. They might need more water. You might need something else. So I feel, yes, because we live in this world, we have to listen to everybody. We don't have to, but we do that. just say, okay, I have listened to this and this. Now, how is this information sits with me? Take your time, think about it, process. If you think what they're saying sits well with you, that's the right information. If you don't think that sits well with you, then let it be. Because otherwise, we stay in this constant state of anxiety and worry. And as I said, if you want well being, you have to plant the seed of well being. And that starts from you. See, if you come to my house and if I have only orange juice, yeah, and you ask for apple juice, you're expecting, you come to my house and you think, wow, I'm going to Sangeeta's house. She's going to offer me apple juice because I love it. And I don't have apple juice in my house. And I said, well, I'm so sorry. I can only offer you orange juice. And you will take it and you'll go feeling not appreciated, not loved. You'll feel, oh no, but I was so looking forward to that. So being a mother, if you're creating worry, unknowingly, you're going to pass those worries to them, to your family, to your kids while it's feeding them, while whatever thoughts you're creating for them. But if you go within yourself and you're coming from a place of knowingness, you're coming from a place of emotional balance, you're coming from a place of loving them, then you don't have to think. You will create well-being in their life. But first, it has to be within you. You have to plant that seed within you. You have to come from a place of well-being yourself. How often, Shri, do you mind me asking, how often you do things to look after yourself?
I used
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Hello? Just type in chat because I can't hear you. See, that's what happens is, we don't, especially I have realized when I became mother. Shri, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay. Tell me, how often do you do things that makes you happy?
I think it's finding the time. I know it's probably the same excuse, but
Okay.
as you
All
said,
right.
yeah, doing everything for everybody else leaves you with nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much time to.
Not much time. So first thing, your first job, your first role, your first responsibility is towards you. If I'm not well, I cannot look after my family. And that's not physically, that's emotionally. I have to be emotionally well to hold my children in that space. Yeah. So I give you an example. My mom, all my life, I couldn't share any of my emotional pain with her. Why? Because if I had some pain, she went in ICU. Yeah. So I was thinking, I remember feeling so angry with my mom and saying, why is that you're not emotionally balanced, that I can't share my emotional pain with you? Because I might be in pain for a day or two, but you will stay in pain for a year. So I was feeling guilty of passing my pain to her because she has never, ever, ever done anything for herself. She was always focused on 50 people, in the families, then three of her kids, then the school. She was a teacher, then everybody else, then the neighbors. She has never, ever, ever taken time for herself. And now she's going to be 80, bless her. Now I'm teaching her to look after her well-being. And she's finding so hard. And I had to do that because my kids, my family, my husband always came first. But guess what? I was in so much pain and I was passing that pain to them because I'm cooking, I'm passing that pain. I'm looking after that, I'm passing my pain. So the day I realized that I have to be this human being who is well, emotionally balanced, and that doesn't mean that, we don't flip or we don't have challenges. Like I shared with you, I had a recent challenge, and it's so beautiful because I have taught my kids to look after themselves first, put themselves first. Now they are strong enough to hold my space when I go through challenge, and they tell me the same thing. Mom, but you tell us that. Why are you putting up with that? You should take time for yourself. So it's about you taking 10-15 minutes of your time, what you're doing is you're passing your knowledge to your kids and saying, hey, everybody else is important, but at least you're equally important. You know, being a parent, we forget about that. We think, no, everybody else is important. And I tell you what happens, Sri. I found it really heartbreaking, and that was happening to me because, and I see it everywhere. Every single of my client come and have that complaint that we put, see, I was putting my husband, my kids, my friends, my family, everybody first. And I was saying, you're important, you're important, you're important. And I come last. I don't matter. I was actually feeding them that energetically, that I don't matter because everybody else come first. And when people turn around and say, you don't matter, it hurts because they are busy in their own life. They just expect you to look after them. They don't think they have a duty or responsibility to look after you. Especially it happens when we are in a partnership, you know, but we are feeding that energetically, say your well-being, your health, you come first. We spend a lot of money and our time and energy in our kids and our partners, and that's great. I love to give, yeah, but at least I say to people, you're important, but at least I'm equally important. I need to take time for myself. I need to look after my well being. And tell you what, the difference it made in my life. The day I took charge of my life and I said, okay, I used to wake up at 6:30 or even earlier when kids were young. I said, I'll wake up 15 minutes, only 15 minutes before. So my routine is not struggling. I will take 15 minutes of my time in the morning just for me, just for doing meditation, just for being grateful for this beautiful life, grateful being alive, you know, grateful that I can smile, that I can sing, that I can connect. And those 15 minutes made me so energized. You know, I was so energetically full of stuff that actually the things I thought would take 6 hours took me 2 hours to do. Why? Because I was filled with divine love. I was filled with this beautiful energy, and I was telling God, I was showing to universe, I matter. Yeah, I was taking time for myself to fulfilling my soul and saying, what do I like to do? And I remember when kids were young and we didn't have that much money. And I thought, how can I make myself happy? And then first thought came, no, that's a very selfish thought. You know, you only should think about your kids or your family. And I thought, no, actually, music makes me happy. So I used to say, okay, for 10 minutes, I will put lovely music on. And how can I do without compromising my daily routine? So I said, okay, while I'm cooking, I can put my lovely music on. And two things will happen. I'll be joyful, and my joy was going in my cooking, and my family was loving it. I was thinking I'm doing something for me and them together. So we can get creative, we can take time for ourselves. But when we say, I don't have time for me, you're telling the universe and everybody around you, you don't matter. And that will come back to you in so many different ways people see it, and that hurts. So I don't want you to feel that. So do think about it, do take time for yourself, do process even when you're feeling not good. You know, we keep giving other people even when we are not feeling good. I now just lie flat. I say to my family, I'm not cooking anything for you today. I am in this, emotion of anger or sadness. I have to process that. I have to take whole day off. And I know my kids are older now, but still, I wish I known it, 20 years ago. I took time for me because I'm telling me I'm important. I need to understand why I'm feeling that. I need to accept it. I need to process, and I do need to let go of that. So I hope that helps, create well-being for yourself, and then you will pass on to your family.
Sure, that was wonderful to know. No, thank you for sharing your experience as well. Thank you.
That's okay. Have a lovely day. Yeah.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Okay, well, what I was thinking, three things we do about understanding our emotion. When we are going through challenge, when we are going through rough times, should I say, um, we try to run away from it or divert our mind. We suppress our emotions, and that can go when we are suppressing our emotions. We go through addictions. It could be social media addiction now, all of us have to deal with. It could be addiction of food. It could be addiction of media watching. It could be addiction of talking to a lot of people about the challenges we are going through, and blaming other people, and negative thinking could be another addiction. So there's a lot of addiction we go through it, although we don't know about it. Third thing we do is we ignore them. We say, nope, I'm happy, I'm okay. We fake it. At times, it helps to fake it till you make it, as I say. Well, what I found the most healthy thing is to really go through it, to really understand. Because, it's like emotions, negative emotions, especially, are like bad food. You went to a restaurant, you had this food that upset your tummy. Now, first thing you wish is for it to pass through you. You don't say, "Oh well, it'll be okay." You ignore it. You go and eat something else. You go and dance, or you talk about something else. When your tummy is upset, when there's pain in your tummy, when that bad food is gone inside you, it's going to bother you until and unless it clears out of you. You know, so negative emotions are like that. When we ignore them, when we try to run from them, when we try to suppress them, it's going to cause a lot of issues around you, which you think it's nothing to do with that. So that's why understanding that I'm feeling negative emotion, I'm feeling jealous of somebody else, it's okay. Talk to yourself and say, why I'm feeling jealous of somebody else? Well, they have something I don't, you know? And then you think, okay, but do you know how much hard work they have done to get there? Then you think, oh, okay, yeah, I understand that. Then there's a self-talk saying, well, if you do so much work, I'm sure you'll get there, you know? So it's not about, oh, no, 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 I'm so bad. I shouldn't feel that jealousy, or I shouldn't feel that. I should only feel love and joy. Yes, we all want that. Yeah, but let's get real. Everything is part of our experience. We are here to grow. We are not here to have this persona of perfection. I always say to people, don't strive for perfection, because nobody is perfect, but strive for excellence. Yeah, none of us are perfect, but I tell you what we are. We all are unique, we all are powerful, we all are full of love. And when we understand ourselves and say, hey, that's part of our experience, that part of the joy, when the ride you go on, when the ride goes up, it comes down as well. It never stops. The life cycle never stops. So rather than running away from it, rather than suppressing, rather than going towards addiction, rather than talking to too many people and then listening to their views, that will confuse you too much. So, what I suggest is, what I have learned and really paid me off is, listen to yourself. You have that inner wisdom. Take time for yourself, quiet your mind, because our mind it's like creating 60,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of them are negative because they are very fast. And how you differentiate? When you're thinking slowly, when you're breathing, you're watching your breath, you're creating positive thoughts. But when you're not even aware of how your day is gone, that means most of it is negativity. Most of it is information taken from media, from other people, and you believe, and you're questioning yourself. Question yourself only to understand yourself. Don't question yourself because somebody else thinks you should do something else. Take that information, talk to yourself and say, is that true? Your heart will give you answer. Put your hand on your heart, take few deep breaths in, and think about that issue, what you're going through it. Your heart will give you an answer. is that what you're thinking to do is right or not? And if your heart says no, it's not right, that's okay. That's great. You know, you became aware of something and say, how can I know a bit more about it? I want to know a bit more about it. It's like when I was craving for peace and I was in turmoil. I had to go and look towards people who have achieved that, who have done that, who have crossed that path, and who were at peace. So I learned a lot. And that's what my intention is, that I have gone through that path and I know, and I have taken steps every single day. And there's a recent research was done that to change your thought process, to create a new habit, it takes somewhere from 66 days to 365 days. So it's not a work of 10 days or one session or one time you listen and it'll change. And that's why, Shri, sometimes you feel up and down. It's about it's about continuation of what you want to know. Invest your time, invest your energy, invest your money in learning something that you're craving for, whether it is a feeling of peace, whether it's a feeling of joy, whether it's a feeling of love. You have all of it in it, but it's about learning to tap into that, and I can really do that. So I really hope that you have enjoyed our session. I really hope that you're going to live from a place of free spirit rather than being slave of other people and other situations. And I can help you with that because I have created, as I said, Inner Peace program, and it's transforming people's life because it's about them understanding and me helping them to tap into their subconscious mind to release the beliefs that they are carrying, because I have done that. And I'm creating things that are unbelievable. I never thought I would, and I have lots of tools and techniques that you can do. I have created 12 different steps, and everything goes 1 to 12. And then in few weeks time or few months, you will come to this place of knowingness, of being more aware of things. And then that'll help you to process, to let go, and to change. And once you heal your emotions, once you learn how to heal your emotions, you have that tool permanently with you. You can use it in any situation. You can help others. But first thing is you need to heal yourself to be there for other people. So I really hope you have enjoyed my session. I really thank everyone. Thank you, Shri, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you, Shri, for asking that question. I hope that helped everybody else. I am starting my online webinars, online sessions, and it'll be very simple sessions every week, one session, and it will be only £30 per month if you want to join in. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Sangeeta ji. And one more person, she is my friend. She personally pinged me and she wants to ask a question, like
Sure.
if someone disappoints us, how to deal with that emotions? Like if we are doing something good for everyone, but at the same time someone disappoints you, what is the thing she has to implement in her life? She's asking this question.
Okay, that's a great question because it happens quite often with people. With me as well. So when somebody else disappoints you, what you need to look at it, that first thing is, if you understand what I'm talking about, you have a compassion for them. See, everybody have a choice how they react, how they tackle things. So once you have this understanding that I have no power over them, yeah, their reactions, their actions is their responsibility. But when somebody really disappoints us, and especially like I was telling Shri, when we give, when we are empty, and somebody says, well, I can't give you back because I have other priority, that disappoints us. Yeah, so we need to say, okay, where am I overextending myself? Am I looking after myself first? Am I giving from a place of fullness, or am I giving from a place of needing something back? So when people disappoint us, you need to think one, okay, They have a choice to behave the way they want to. Second step is have compassion for them, because people who are hurt already in the past, they are going to hurt you. So have more love and compassion for them and saying, may you find your peace. And then third step is you take back and saying, how can I look after myself that I don't overextend myself so I don't create that situation again? Because there's something in you that has created that situation. Either you're giving too much. It's like if I give you from a, so if this is my, I will show you my half glass. Now I have this much energy, and everybody who comes to my house, I pour a drop or I give them everybody. Now when I'm empty, I'm going to look towards those people and say, hey, give something back to me. I'm thirsty, I need some water. And they turn around and say, well, we drank it or we gave it to somebody else. That's where disappointment comes. So for me, that's why I was telling Shri, my responsibility towards me is to fill myself up every single day. First thing in the morning, I am full of love. My glass is full. Now somebody who comes to me, it's going to get, because it's overflowing. It's not going to come from a place of emptiness. It's going to come from a place of fullness. And see, and that's what I feel. Everybody now who comes in my house or feels my vibrations or come in contact with me feel peaceful. Why? I'm not taking any action to create peace in them. But because I'm fulfilling myself every single day, I take an hour and a half for me. So I am at peace. So I'm forgiving people. I'm forgiving myself. So I am raising my vibration. Now, whosoever comes in my contact will feel that vibration. If I am working on myself, filling myself with love, whosoever comes will feel that love. But when people disappoint you, think it's more of them going through pain, disappointing, and less of you. So don't take it personally. I know it's hard. It's very easy. It's easy said than done. But I know we can do it because I have done it. People used to disappoint me all the time, left, right, and center, you know. But when I understood that they are in their own journey, they are in so much pain, and me getting angry with them, me getting upset with them is going to add to that pain. I said, no, I don't want to do that. So I took time for me to heal myself, and then I sent love to them, and then they healed. And hopefully, next time, the situation won't happen. I hope that helped.
Yeah, I think so. Yes. Yes, I think I understood that. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you so much for your
thank you
wonderful
so much,
insights
guys.
about
Yeah,
it.
you can
Because,
join me on
yeah,
sangeetadiwan.com. Shri, just I will send you some link if you can
yeah,
share with everybody. If they,
like the understanding of emotions.
yeah.
So if you can just give me an example to for a better understanding, please.
Okay. Do you have anything that's going on in your life?
Oh yeah, actually, with regards to the job, something,
Okay.
every day there will be a new requirement comes in. So which worries
Hmm.
me, I don't know this, I don't know how to start, where to start. You know, these things will happen every time with me. I'm worried, I'm nervous. I'm trying to avoid these things as well. Get rid of this work and try to take some other thing and give some different causes to not to do this work.
Okay.
Something like this.
So whatever is coming to you is creating a little bit of anxiety in you.
Yes, fear. I can
Fear.
say like every time anything, any question, anything comes to me, is
Hmm.
fear always
Fear
worry.
of what?
Fear of how to answer them, how to reply them, how to do
Okay.
this job, how to do the
Okay.
work,
Mm-hmm.
something like this.
Okay. But so one thing I want you to go in back is look at this fear. Where is that fear arising from? When in your childhood you felt that fear for the first time? Fear of rejection, fear of not knowing enough. So there is something in your subconscious that's sitting, that's creating that fear that is coming now. So you need to go back and you need to clear that fear. That will stop creating anxiety. And you can say, okay, that question has come to me. So you will understand that. Do I know this question or not? So the answer might be, okay, I don't know it. You accept it that you don't know the answer of that. Then you process it. Can I find the answer of that? Can I work? to do that? Okay, the answer will be yes, I can. Then you work at it. And if the answer is no, I can't, you said, okay, I have to let go. I have to let go of that. And I have to be really honest with them and saying, thank you for asking that question. I really don't know how to process it, but I can take time to find out. Or you can become really resourceful. You can always ask your colleagues, you can always ask your friends. There's so much knowledge. So what happens is the anxiety makes you run away from it. The fear of not knowing makes you not deal with it. Yeah. So when you're saying, let me understand, let me really take time to come in the present moment, now you will accept, you will process, you will deal with it. And if you can't deal with it, you say, okay, let go. Okay. But I really want you to go back in your childhood. And if you want, you can have a personal session with me. After that, you can send me a message. Shri will pass my WhatsApp number. I can really help you to go back in your childhood or somewhere in the past. It might not be childhood, it might be a few years back, and really look into it, that emotion very first time. And there will be some seed that somebody else planted in your subconscious that we need to release, and we'll plant a healthier seed so you can find an answer. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Sangeeta. I'll take the number from Sri and I'll speak to you later then on this.
Thank you so much, Sandeep. Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Shalin, I
Hi, Shalin.
want thank you so much for a lovely session.
Oh,
Everything rings a bell with me
okay.
regarding childhood and all those emotions. I find it very difficult with regrets and anger.
Hmm.
So, what would you advise on how to deal with
Deal
it
with
right
that.
now in a position of a lot of regrets and
Okay.
anger and probably not being able to forgive? And when you said let go, I said, oh my god, how do I know it is, I have to let go because it is
But how do you do
burning
it?
me out, but
Yeah,
how do I do
absolutely.
it?
Okay. I want you to first think about regrets are like something has happened in the past. Yeah.
Yes.
You have no power to change that, go back in time and change that. What you
Yeah.
have power of doing something right now, and letting go is about forgiveness. And I'll give you um, a process today to do is write a letter to yourself today
Yeah.
and say, I am so sorry for holding on to that past hurt and regret and anger. You need to start loving yourself. And
Yes.
then I want you to write a letter to every single person you're feeling anger towards, because of course people are involved. Yeah.
Yes.
Write down and write every single emotion, every single word. It could be the most harshest word you think I would never ever say to that people, but you're feeling it. You could say,
Okay.
I hate you, I this, I that, whatever. You made me feel like that. I want you to write a letter to them first,
Okay.
to saying sorry to yourself for holding on to the anger for so long.
Yeah.
And then I want in the end for you to write down saying, thank you for coming in my life and creating that experience. Because of you, I am stronger now. Yeah. So, what is
Okay.
happening is we are letting go, we are forgiving them, we are forgiving us, and we are saying, hey, because of that, I am here where I am. And then I want you to tear that page, either burn it if you want to, or just tear it with lots of anger, with all the emotion that comes out, all the anger that you're feeling. I wanted to pour down on your page when you're writing. And then with that emotion, you tear that paper and you throw it and you say to universe, I let go. And now it's
Yeah.
all up to you. Okay. So what happens
Okay.
is, I'm feeling your emotion actually right now. When we are
Sorry.
holding this anger, no, it's okay. It's part of my job, what I do. So when we feel that anger, it's all stuck in us. So it's going to create issues for you,
Yes.
not for those people, but more
No.
for you. It's
Yeah.
like anger is like holding this burning hot coal and wanting to throw at people, but it burns you. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I want you to take few deep breaths after that and release that when you do it. So you're actually bringing out that anger emotion on the paper, throwing it. So that's how you let go.
Okay, I'll
And
try.
you will feel really relieved. I'm telling you, it's the most powerful exercise I do with every single client. And be very honest with yourself when you're writing letter. It could be
Yeah,
10 pages, it could be 10 words.
yeah,
All the emotion that comes up, let it come. Cry as much as you want to.
yeah,
Let it be. Take 15-20 minutes of your time. Don't let anybody disturb you. It's a
yeah.
healing process. It's a huge process. People's life has shifted hugely after doing this process.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. I've tried. I've
And
been
then
meaning
after
to
you do
write.
that, take a
Yeah,
deep breath in.
yeah, yeah.
Write it down. I know sometimes we think it's very simple thing. Well, okay, I could do it. I will do it. I'm telling you, my life has shifted every single time I've done that. And what happens is, like I think mentioned to Sandeep as well, some of your memories from where your past will come up, might come up.
Yes,
That, oh my
yes,
God, I felt like that when I was young. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the first time I felt like that. Write it down, saying I
yeah.
don't need that. So what we are doing is we're clearing our subconscious basically.
Okay,
So that belief that we were carrying, we were not good
yeah.
enough, or we were not smart enough, or whichever one you carry, that will release. And the
Okay,
next time it'll come up, it'll become easier, and hopefully it'll clear totally. But again, like I'm saying, we need to learn these processes and we need to go through it. That's why I want to take people through this journey of 12 steps in 3 or
yeah,
4 months.
yeah.
So every single time, because when we do it, it comes again. It's like
Yes,
we know it all. Yeah, we have
yeah,
this wisdom in our soul. We have heard it, like Shri was saying it, but we don't know how to do it.
yeah,
Because once you do it, it's not that it's going to sit in your subconscious that has gained knowledge or beliefs for past 30 years, or I don't
yeah,
know how old are you. I am very old.
yeah.
So
I'm
you know
old
when
as
you
well.
welcome to the club.
Yes.
So when we have gathered so much stuff, so much gunk, it'll take time to
Yes,
release. It's not going to do
yes,
one time, it's not going to do overnight. But when I take people through these courses and through holding their hand virtually, I'm
yeah,
saying, hey, if you have issue, if you trigger, if you trip, it's okay. Be kind to yourself. Yeah. And
yeah,
every step of the way, I'll help you to deal with it mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, you
yeah,
know. And over the time, over 4 or 5 months, you will gain that knowledge, you will have that stability and say, okay, now I know how to deal with it.
yeah.
Okay, I hope that helped.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks. I will take your contact from Shri, or
Absolutely.
so
and
because
and
I've been
and
stuck in this. I don't like. I've been stuck in it for some
it's a
time, and
cycle,
I,
it's a cycle. Yeah,
yes, and I
we
need
need to
to
break it.
break it, and because life is should be productive. You
Life,
can't be
yeah,
stagnant.
life is so precious. We don't want to,
Yes,
yeah, we don't want to stay in that space of feeling anger or feeling resentful or hurtful, and think life is so much more beautiful, and we
yes,
need to experience that. And that's my intention of creating inner peace program, is like when I thought, my God, if I've gone through so much and I can come to this place of feeling peace, feeling joy most of the time,
yeah,
80-90% of the time.
yeah,
And I want everybody to feel that, because
yeah.
I now know the value. I wake up feeling good. I go to bed
Exactly.
feeling grateful, and I want people to feel that, you know.
Yeah,
And even everyone here who is listening, if you think somebody else in your life is struggling, share my contact with them, as then bring them as well along on that course as well, because 30 pound a month is nothing. You can spend
yes,
1 day a day, for
yeah,
you to experience life fulfilling way, in a fulfilling way. And guess what, you're passing then your joy to other people. I have seen such a shift in my own home with my kids, because as I say, when I was in pain, I was passing that pain to them
yeah,
unknowingly, not that I wanted to, but I didn't know. So now I am at peace. Now when my kids fall down or they have an emotional breakdown, I become that strength. I
yeah.
say, hey, you know
That's what I want to, because it's the young, the generations. My child, daughter, and all. They have a lot more struggles than we have
yeah,
because of nuclear families and being away and all. The challenges are
Absolutely.
different, and if we can't support and give them the tools, their life
Absolutely.
will be more challenging than ours, you see. So
And
I
that's
have
why I
to,
think every parent's job and responsibility is to know how
exactly,
to stay balanced and have
yeah,
emotional well-being. Because if
yes,
I don't know it, if I don't know how to cook Indian curry, I'm not going to teach you, is it?
no,
I need to
e-
learn myself. I need to buy
exactly,
the ingredients. I need to know the recipe. I need to practice myself. I need to come to a place of making a perfect curry. Now I am in a space of teaching somebody else,
yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
Because just biologically becoming a parent doesn't give
No,
you tools.
no, and plus it's a big responsibility,
It is.
to bring children who have to be stable, balanced. It's a big
Absolutely.
responsibility, you know.
Absolutely. I'm feeling your release, so hopefully you
Yeah,
do it and
yeah,
get in touch. And yeah, Sri will pass my contact detail to all of you. You'll all have
yeah.
my WhatsApp number. Get in
Okay,
touch if you want one-to-one session. I
yeah,
charge £55 for that. Or if you want to join from June on my online course, I think online course will be really helpful if you
okay.
want even your family or friends, anybody else, if you want to
To do,
suggest.
yeah,
And I will take questions every week from everyone and help you guys.
okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you
Take
so much.
care.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Have a lovely, peaceful day, guys. Any other
Yeah, yeah. Have a
questions?
nice weekend. Yeah.
And you too.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta ji.
Thank you, Shri.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Hope you
you.
all enjoyed. Give us a feedback and take number from Shri. And I really hope that we'll start learning together from June. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi. Thank you.
Thanks.